I got drafted when I was 17. Mother tried to tell a story until I wasn't 17. It didn't work.
Oh, you was 18 and...
No, I tried to tell I was 16.
Oh, that's what it was.
And so I got drafted anyway. But I went up to Atlanta to be examined and come back for 30 days. And I partied all over the place. And then after that 30 days, I went back to Atlanta. And next thing I know, it had me on KP.
KP
dishes.
That was in Atlanta?
Oh, I was out of peanut taters. I had a pile of taters. Oh, I made about a truckload out there. And so I said, I wish I could leave here. And I'm a son of a gun. Within 30 minutes, they come out through that hall and Lamar Wiley, report to the office. And that was my way out of there. So they took me off of that, getting ready to leave the next morning for the day. And the next morning, about 5 o'clock, we were eating, and about 6 o'clock, we were rolling out of Atlanta on a big troop train. Went down to St. Petersburg,
Florida?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
And,
what's the name of that place down there?
Stayed right there in the city.
What's the name of that place?
St. Petersburg.
No, the Air Force Base. What is it? Yep, no.
He was trying to think of before and he couldn't.
I don't know, but the Army took St. Pete over, and they moved the old retired people out.
Huh.
They moved them out. And we stayed in a hotel, and you couldn't go nowhere. You had to stay in a hotel until dinner, and then it'd get you out front and march you uptown about a mile to a cafeteria that the Army took over. And it took a big cafeteria over and the Army fed you. And you drill back to the hotel till supper. But we stayed in that hotel 2 weeks. That's letting you know you can't go home. And then they packed us up again. And we went 10 miles out of there to the jungle outside of St. Peter.
The jungle?
Yeah, it was mostly jungle out there. The tents was all over the place, but there was soldiers everywhere. And that's your training ground, 6 weeks. I stayed there 6 weeks. Drill, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And I drilled for about back and forth and had meetings every hour or two, and they tell you about women and sex. They'd have that one day, maybe the next day it'd be about guns, and then they showed you how to shoot a gun. And if you're gonna hold one, hold it up. It's loaded. Hold it up like that. Hold it up. And they give you all kind of points there.
Rank multi.
And they tell you every time, this is going to save your life.
Yeah.
They really put it over. And,
MacDill Air Force Base, was that?
No, it was just called Tent City.
Dad
Training
was,
place
down
where
there and was trying to remember
train
the name
you for
of the
your
place.
basic
He said
training.
Tent City.
Basic training.
Okay,
And I crawled on the ground out there. Over
Alright, I'm taking him on video. He's telling me the whole story. Alright, bye. He said there's MacDill Air Force Base down there.
Who said that?
That's my buddy.
Oh, I thought you said Ray. Don't believe that Ray say.
What's the name of it?
MacDill Air Force Base is down there.
That's base.
But they call it Tent City.
No, I never did go there, that bad base.
Huh.
It's a place where they train you out in the jungle to be a soldier.
Right.
And then they put you out there in broom straw with snakes and everything else in the world out there. And you have to call across maybe 200 or 300 yards on you, like that, with your gun laying across it, like that. He crawled right on the ground like a damn snake. And every so often you could stop and stay there, and then they'd let you sleep in a pup tent out in that area. And you could hear all kind of stuff at night out there. Ooh! And so they give you all kind of training, everything. And then when you get through, you're back up to the big tents,
Excuse me.
and you kind of take it easy and eat a day or two. And you get an order, and they pick you up on the train, and I headed back to Georgia. I said, Lord have mercy, I'm going home. Damn train come up here, and I said, there's Tallahassee. Come right through here. And I said, it's headed to Donaldsonville. The damn train went to Mariana. Went to Mariana and headed west. Texas, Louisiana, all of it. I went right down on the Mexican border where they sit out there on the ground with them big hats on. And the train go right through the town. And you can look out the window and they were sitting all along the sidewalk right there.
Taking siestas.
And and we went right on out to California, Fresno. Now there's a bomber base there. Ooh, in the morning, 5 o'clock, oh, you couldn't talk, a damn bomber. Hundreds of bombers out there training. And old Mark King was on that train, my first cousin.
That's your cousin, yeah.
And we talked them into letting me and him be in the same car on the way out there. And that sucker took the months, pouring up all here. There's 48 in that car. And when they got into Fresno, they unconnected the train and shot that train off back in that bomber base. That one car.
They quarantined it?
And reconnected and left. And they reconnected and left. And there I was at Fresno, Bakersfield. And so they took us off down there, kind of in the woods away from the barracks and everything. And we had to stay down there. They put Monk and 2 or 3 in the hospital. And they put us down there in tents by ourselves. Well, we'd have to drill up there when everybody else would eat, and eat by ourselves. They didn't want to give the monks to nobody. They'd go back to the tent. And that went on 30 days. And I think it was about 45 of us down there. And the end of 30 days, there was 6 left. The rest of them caught damn mumps. They sent them to the hospital. And I'll never forget that lieutenant come by, doctor, and he checked me over the last day. And he said, I don't believe you ever gonna have a damn mump. And so.
Was that in the summer or winter? Or?
It was summertime.
Summertime.
And you sleeping on a tent. It was pretty good. And then they put me on for shipping. And I went up there and had to wait 2 or 3 days. Next thing I know, I'm all out of it. I was back on the train. Here I go. Went on up there and I hit Oregon. Got on up. I kept going. The rumors was we headed to Canada. Damn, going to Canada. So we went through the mountains. You could just about put your hand out there and it was so dark, you touch your mountain like that right out there. We up to it. You seen them go up through the hills like that.
Right.
And finally we went on to, we got up there and we passed on through Seattle, Washington, and a place called Everett, Washington. and that's where they dropped us, right there at Everett. And then they trucked us out there to a camp, Air Force camp. And I had to take training out there for, I reckon we stayed there 6 to 8 months. And they put you on, they have night driving, they go out on maneuvers overnight. You had to go to the road.
So you turned 18, didn't you, while you was out there? You turned 18?
Yeah.
What was your birthday in September?
And
So you
then,
November.
and so then, they come up and called me and another guy in the office. And they said, I got good news and bad news. And I said, uh-oh. I said, I tell you what I said was shit. So they said, you are going to be staying here for 2 weeks. And you sit around the office and drive a few of the men left here, officers, if they want to go or where they want to go. You and this other guy, we picked you two drivers to stay here. And the rest of them was going on vacation. Now that's the longest 2 damn weeks I ever spent right there.
Was that the good news or the bad news?
Well, the good news was that I made PFC. They raised me a few pennies. I was making 65 and they give me 69.
Well, that's $69. What was that, a month?
So then,
was that a month? $69 a month or a week?
I don't even know really what it was. It was a little raise, but it wasn't much. Maybe it was about 15, 20 a month, something like that.
Oh, Lord.
So anyway.
What was the bad news?
So anyway, they called us in, and they were coming back like mad. All of them were coming back.
Ooh.
And they said, y'all are ready to go tomorrow. So they give us our papers. And me and this guy got on a train, went into Chicago. And went right uptown there, where the tall buildings are. Come up under the city on the train that goes up under the city.
What year was that, Dave? Was that 1940?
No, 41,
41.
in the late 41. And so we stayed there a while, and I went out there on another train headed south, and he went to Missouri. And we made a deal that in 2 weeks' time, we'd meet right back there at that same place where we could be together going back to Washington. It's a long way from Washington to Chicago. Trains travel slow.
Yeah.
And they're picking up customers, dropping them off, stuff like that. Well, it took me 5 days and 5 nights to get to Donaldsonville. Okay, I stayed there 5 days and 5 nights. And there was time to go. Well, Mother and Daddy took me up to Albany. I got on the train there. And I rode back into Chicago and met the guy. He was there. We got on another train and went north. It took, the total of that was 5 days and 5 nights. So I got to stay home out the whole damn deal 5 days. I traveled more than I stayed home.
That's right.
That's true. And then later on they sent a bunch of our equipment out ahead, and it went to Virginia. And they took out on the train, and we loaded trucks, everything we had. You know, we had a half track or so, and we had these boats that go on land and water, had 5 of them.
Amphibious.
And amphibians. And so when we got going, we stopped in, what's that big town in Minnesota? Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Yeah,
You're
Minneapolis.
talking about a big damn place. That train went through there, and we was on a troop train, a big troop train. That thing went through there and they drove a little bit, stopped, go a little bit. We was half a day getting uptown. God damn. So we stopped here. This is the truth. And somebody, one of the boys, looked over yonder about like maybe that road or a little closer, that house over there, and said, hell, that's some of our men. It was our men guarding our equipment. They just got to Minnesota 2 weeks later. They just got there. They kept sidetracking them so much traffic, you know.
They left 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And so I said, damn if it ain't. We looked, there was our equipment, there was radar trucks, you know, the big things. And I think we had about 5 or 6 of them things. Had a semi-trailer, like a radio headquarters.
Huh.
And so then we took off and left them. And a week or two later, I said, when are they going to get here? I swear it was 2 more, they were a month getting over there.
Good Lord.
A damn month. There was traffic was like this. And so I stayed in Newport News about a month. Cold, snowing, didn't do nothing but wait on the office. And stay around and we eat good. And Christmas morning, Christmas Eve, I got on the boat. I got on the boat Christmas Eve.
Where was that at? New Jersey?
In Virginia, out from Newport News, right there at what's the name of that big Navy base?
In Virginia?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's that big Navy base. And it's right close to there, but it's,
Yeah.
it's all the shipping and receiving.
Oh, it went all right.
Then they turned it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. It look like it's finna rain.
So
I'm
I
at
was
that
on the
work
boat
now.
that
Finna
night, and all I could hear was the
I
music
don't know what to say about that girl.
and the sisters singing
Where you at?
White Christmas, everything.
What is that?
And
That
they had
don't mind
just
to
a
you.
song just come out. They had that song there.
Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Huh?
Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Yeah.
Chattanooga Choo Choo.
But they
Rick had it.
I figured
Chattanooga Choo
credit
Choo.
on
Yeah.
that. I told
Yeah.
them they can buy that.
So, then I went to sleep. I was tired getting on the boat and all. We all went to sleep.
Mm-mm.
Next morning, somebody woke me up early.
She
About
said she had
6
alcohol.
o'clock. Said, go up top and look. And I
Was she
couldn't
getting
feel
on
nothing. The
water
boat was just pumped still. And I went up top. When I got up there, shit, I couldn't see nothing but ocean.
Well, I told her they
Christmas
can give me
morning,
$100 my refrigerator.
Right.
And we rode that baby
Yeah, I
26
cleaned
days.
No, she ain't. Ain't
Going
nobody
deadly. See the way they
bought my
do it.
refrigerator down there 'cause I talked to her
They
last night.
all get into a
And I
convoy.
told her I couldn't free, couldn't eat this one.
And they got bombs in
I
and
said,
they
I
get
need
right
my
to the middle.
refrigerator.
And they go like this, that ship.
She ain't had last night.
Like that going across. That's throwing the submarines off.
Right.
So
Yeah, so
I bet you
took
I won't
26
clean that
days.
no more.
And then we pulled in to bury it. They around the boat on the other side.
Barry.
Bury, B-E-R-R-I.
Mhm.
Barry
But
Atlanta.
I know you need.
And
okay.
Naples was back on this side. And they were bumming Naples. That's why we didn't go in there.
Right.
And we got off and God knows. I'll have to tell you the rest later.
We'll put it on hold. We'll get that another day.
Oh.
Was that up in? That's where you were at, but I can't remember if it was in Newport
Newport
News. Was that?
Yeah.
That was in Virginia.
Newport News.
That was Fort Eustis.
I don't know what the name of that camp was. I never did know.
I think it was. Sean, you on the internet?
Yeah.
Look up Fort Eustis and see if it's
Newport News.
Newport News, Virginia.
See right across the water.
Just type in Fort Eustis, E-U-S-T-I-S, Eustis.
Right around the coast there, just a little further, over a few miles, is that big naval base.
Right, I looked it up and saw it.
All right, big naval base.
Is that
right
where it's
there.
at, Sean?
Yes,
Alright, that's Fort Eustis.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Well,
And it was, you were on the inside of that little island right there, right? And
that's
what
right.
was the name of that place up in Washington you went to? Everett.
Everett, Washington.
Look up a
There's a Mount
Army.
Everett up there.
look up an army camp in Everett, Washington. Everette. And I
Well,
looked
I
it
can
up.
tell you that camp, that was, God,
I looked it up. I can't remember what it was.
it's air base. It's air base.
It's air base. So it'd be a Navy. And they made planes and all up there, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. It's, let's see.
Everett, Washington. I guess you look up naval. Well, I mean Air Force
No,
base.
it's Army base. It was an Army base.
Naval, you're right.
Oh,
What is it called?
Naval Station Everett.
Doesn't say. Does it say like Fort something other? Or camp so and
oh
so?
my gosh, it's called.
Yes.
I'll think of it later.
I looked it up and found it. I can't remember what it was.
Oh
See
my
anything,
gosh.
Sean?
It's about 6 to 8 miles out of Everett.
Look,
We had
type
to-
in Army base in Everett, Washington. And
We had to catch a
Google it.
bus into town and come back about 6 to 8 miles. Sometimes we'd be in there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when we was on leave. We'd be riding into camp. That's heartbreaking. Everything is dark
Uh,
and everybody's asleep. And you're going in that damn army camp 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. But always there's 2 or 3 of us, you know.
wasn't your cousin still with you up there?
Huh?
Wasn't your cousin still with you up there?
Yeah.
What was his name?
I can't think of the name of that. It's air base.
No, what was your cousin's name?
Huh?
What was your cousin's name?
Billy King Monk.
King, yeah. Monk is what y'all
Yeah.
call him?
Yeah, he was up there.
Well, you went from St. Petersburg to Fresno. Didn't you stay in Fresno a little while?
Yeah, I stayed in Fresno
California.
about a month. Till the monks he had the monks and they quarantined all of them. And then I left, and when I thought he was going somewhere else. I got up there and somebody said, "You know that crazy cousin Monk?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Back in Fresno?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, he's looking for you. He's up here." And I went up to the mess hall to eat, and there he was. Crazy. We went out on leave a lot, me and him. Yeah.
And then y'all went from Everett. Didn't you go to Minneapolis, or did you go on over to Virginia?
We went through Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then come to Virginia.
And then you got out on the boat, shipped
Yeah,
off
Christmas Eve that night,
1941.
and the next morning. No, this was 1943, I believe.
Oh,
we go back.
1943.
See Naval Station Everett.
Says Naval Station Everett.
Yeah, it's like that.
No,
It's an army base.
it's Army base. I tell you, they didn't have no planes there. It was a training base. It was a training base. There was no planes there. Might have been a few coming in and out, but not training or nothing.
Why don't you put in 1941 Army Base, Everett, Washington.
Now, we left Everett by convoy, and I drove a truck, and we went back 200 miles to Seattle and out to a big military base named Fort Lewis. That's a tank outfit, tank infantry, and that's where we took our training again. We had to be trained before we went over there.
Now, you said it's 1943. I was thinking that was 1941 when you got drafted.
No, 41 I was home in 41. See, I didn't stay over but like a year and 8 months. I stayed in service about 2 years.
So you left out at Christmas in 1943,
I believe it was.
heading out, and then
I was over there 43, 44, and part of 45. Yeah, I had come back to I left over there and when they dropped the atomic bomb, I forget what month it is, but it's just for my birthday. And they dropped atomic bomb. And I come on home and I was home in 2 weeks.
What'd you say, Sean?
I don't really see. I saw something in 1941, but not 1941.
I want to say it was Everett Field, but that don't sound exactly
That
right.
might be right. I think when I looked it up, I think they did have a field or something.
Everett Field or
Go
something.
by Google or?
Now, look when try to find out when the atomic bomb, what day the atomic bomb was dropped.
Okay.
So they dropped the atomic bomb before your birthday.
It was yeah. They dropped it along in August.
August.
I wrote it down. I got it on a card somewhere back there. July, August,
Of 44,
September,
45,
October. I was discharged October the 14th.
October 14.
2 weeks before.
That was 45.
Yeah, August 6th.
2 weeks before September.
What was it, Sean?
August 6th and August 9th.
1945.
June.
Yeah, you said August 6th
And the 9th is up there too.
and the 9th
That's right. And also June the 6th, which was yesterday, was
was D-Day.
Normandy Day.
Yeah. All right, so you went across water and you went over to Barry, Italy. You come in on Barry.
We moved by truck from there over to Naples, Italy.
And that's where they was bombing, wasn't
They was bombing the ships coming in, but we was about 15 miles up north of there into tents, camouflage. And but the worst place was at Angel Beachhead. You couldn't go by land. You had to get on a boat and go around and come in.
they? Huh.
All the Germans was in there.
That was on the east side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I don't remember what date it was, but they told us to get ready to move. We'd be moving tonight. And I was sleeping on the edge of the truck, had it loaded with things, tents and everything, some of our equipment and all. About 11 o'clock, I heard a whistle blow like an air raid. They had those all over the place to warn you.
Right.
And so about that time, our sergeant come down there and he said, "We're moving right now.
That was out of Barry?
Get in your trucks and line up." And I looked up north of there, Angel Beachhead and all of that, and it was red as blood.
Huh.
It just like it was bloody. It was way up about 100 miles, but it was red as blood.
Talking about the sky.
Dark night, and it was, and they told us to drive blackout. And we started off, and I drove about 100 miles, all of us, the whole convoy. And when we got to Angel Beachhead, they just pulled out from there. The infantry and the 82nd Airborne, all of them just pulled out. And we stopped in there, and early that morning they was done had detectives going all over the water, hunting the bums in the edge of the water.
Yeah.
And they cleared out a place where you could go take a bath. And we got out and went in there, and it was something else. We were taking a bath on Andrew Beachhead.
Oh, damn.
And so they had to go up through the mountains, and Casino was back there. Mount Casino.
Uh-huh.
And that's the reason the hole was so hard at Banjo. They was up in these mountains, they couldn't get them out. And finally, that night, they got them out of there. And everybody went forward. Didn't make no difference, preacher or whatever. And so we ended up at up in Rome, up on a mountain. There was two ways to go. You could go around, and it was flat land. But on that mountain, you'd see trucks, tractors going back both there, full of roses loaded. And we was up there looking down, you could see Rome 20 miles away. And so that next day, the sergeant was a Catholic. and he had authority to do what he wanted to. And he told me, he said, "You want to ride in the Rome with me?" I said, "Yeah." So we took a Jeep.
Jeep.
And when we got there, we went right on in to where that line den is, stopped, saw it. And then we hit that little canal street where the water was, and went right up in front of St. Peter's Church.
Oh, did you?
And we walked in there.
They hadn't. They hadn't.
Oh, no mercy! Just you wouldn't believe it. It's just gold all over the pure gold.
And that wasn't bombed or anything. That was okay.
No, it wasn't bombed.
Huh.
And so he went up and knelt down at the front and done his thing, and I sat down about halfway. And he come back, and he said, "Well, we got to go." And we headed back. He just wanted to go to that church.
That was good.
And I was lucky I was there, you know.
You remember his name?
Huh?
You don't remember his name, do you?
Yeah, his name was Andy Lorella. He was Italian.
Andy
I
Lorella.
imagine he passed away. He was kind of an older guy. His name was, he wanted us to call him a name. And we done it, Pop.
Pop.
He felt like he was over us. We called him Pop.
Huh.
P.O.P.
Oh.
That's what we called him. But his name was Andrew Lorette. He lived in New York. And how he got that job, you know, he owned a trucking company at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And he run a trucking company, and that's why he got in on the deal. And so we ended up there, and then the next thing I know, they said, "Let's go." We went around Rome, headed to Florence, way on up in there.
Still Italy, huh?
Florence, Italy. And stayed there about a week or two, and they said, "It's all over up here. That damn 82nd Airborne and the tank done pushed them back." So we headed back. And we come back all the way back to Naples.
Huh.
Stopped about the same place there, settled down. By that time, Mount Vesuvius erupted one night.
Oh, did it?
It erupted, and man, it just lit up the whole world over there.
Huh.
And so after that, they had a southern France invasion. And we all come out to the water and got on a big boat, U.S. boat. And the invasion went in like this, and like this is France. They come in right here, southern France.
Southern part.
And right up there, about 10 miles, was Riviera. That big place, you know, where they partying on.
Right.
Just 8 miles. I went right on in there. But now back this way, further, was Angelo Beachhead. See?
Mm-hmm.
And they come in, over here with Angelo, they come in here on Normandy, further around.
That was on the north side, wasn't it?
They was, at the same time we were going in, they were coming in. I didn't even know nothing about that. Till it was done, and we were way up in Nancy, France, way on up fixing to cross.
So y'all went in through what was that? What part of France did y'all go back in through France? Y'all come back around to Naples.
We come back to Naples and then went around to France.
And went around to France.
We were on by boat. See, they was landing back there because there was Germans all in there.
Right.
And they run them slam out of there. They had them on their damn run.
So what part of France did you come in at?
His name was Cannes, C-A-N-N, but it was right close to Riviera.
Yeah, Cannes, France. That's where you come in. And then where'd y'all go from there?
And we stayed around there a little while, and it wasn't long before we started heading north. And we come to Nancy, France.
Nancy, France.
There was a big city there. It's on the map, Nancy. And we stopped in there at a school that had been bombed, and we got rooms. We got to stay there for a while. I don't know, a month or 2 months. And then we went up across the Rhine River, going into Germany at Mannheim. And that put me on up to Nuremberg, another place or two up in there.
Up in Germany.
And Berlin, went right on into Berlin. That's right at the war was over then. Here come these damn Russians in there. See, the war was over, and here they come. A big damn outfit and claim that, part of that land.
Is that right?
Yeah. We were laughing at him and said, you damn stupid, stupid shit. And well then we stayed around there for a while, and they reprocessed us. And so when it come to me, they said, you've had a year and 8 months over here, and we got people from North Africa up have been over here 2 or 3 years.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was classified on points. I had 100 and I had 95. You had to have so many for this country, so many for that country. It added up. Well, they said you you one of the younger ones. You're gonna have to go to the Pacific.
Huh.
So they got a bunch of us ready, sailed us out. It was about 20, and it shipped us by train to Marseille, France, all the way back out of Germany there on a German train. I had old hard seats. You could look out, and just before we got into Marseille.
What was that? The summer or winter or what was that? Fall?
It was in the summertime.
In the summertime.
And so just before we about 20 miles before we got into Marseille, I got to looking on the right and left. As far as you can see back that way, as far as you can see that back, all the way to Marseille. Nothing but tanks, trucks, all kind of muck equipment. Them boys done gone ahead of us. Them big boys been over there and all that. They was going out there.
Huh.
So when it stopped there, I was supposed to get on another boat with this crew and head to the Pacific. Oh man, that was killing my day. I didn't like it. It was shit. Well, they done broke up half of it, split us up.
Right.
We lost some of our friends, and so we sat around there, and every day they'd say, go put your cot up, sleeping on a tent. And we're going down to the boat. And I'd be there, we'd get down there and stay till dark, and they'd have to feed us. We'd go back up the hill there, about 5 miles. And there's a hill up there, you can see the water off there. And we went back up there, and it went on a week like that, just every day or two.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, we just wore us out. And so, one morning they said, now we leaving today. So you just get ready, check your damn cot in. There's a boat down there.
Huh.
So, we went to eat breakfast and then we went to eat dinner. And just as I walked up there to eat, they had always in the camp, they had a loudspeaker. They could call who they wanted to. And when it wasn't doing that, they were playing music. Mostly country music. They played all the that big loudspeaker there. You could hear it all over the camp. And they announced, everybody stay still. Said, this morning, Iwo Jima was dropped an atomic bomb. Boy, I said, I said, well, they surrendered, over there. We stayed around there a few days, and I think about a week or two, I laid down and rested. They called all our names, we went to the boat and come home.
Come on home.
Come into New York there, and then...
So you left out of, what city was that in France that you pulled out of, what was that, Marseille?
From where I left from?
Yeah.
In France?
Yeah.
Well, I left from Germany in Hall, H-A-double-A. It's a small crossroads, and they come in, go left or right.
Right.
You go left, you want to go to the Battle of the Budge up in there, either go back this way. And we stayed there for a while.
But the place you was staying at, they kept going back and forth, and that's where you shipped out to come home?
Yeah, boy.
What was the name of that place there?
Huh?
What was the name of the place you shipped out of over there?
Marseille.
It was Marseille.
I got it.
Yeah, and then you shipped out, and everybody...
Marseille, and I come into New York, and then went to Fort Dix, New Jersey.
That's New Jersey.
And they overnight, next morning, they said, you can have anything you want.
Huh.
we went there to breakfast, and I'm telling you, they just had milk, eggs, sausage, everything. Every boy I eat, I drink, God dog it. And so it separated us again. Here I head, next thing I know, I was heading south. Come right through Washington, D.C.
Right.
and into Augusta, Georgia. And we got off about dark, or a little before dark, right at dark. And walked on up there, and they call your name, check you in, and there's tents up there. And then they try to get you to re-enlist.
You wasn't having none of that, were you?
Yeah, I told them, they said, well, I said, what's my advantage? Well, you'll be rated up. You can go home tonight instead of sitting here for a while. Things like that. And I said, well, I believe in it. I said, I believe I'll stay here with y'all a while. And I said, all right. So next day, a whole bunch was calling them in, checking them. And we went down there, and that man had them like a baseball camp, sitting up on that chicken wire. Maybe 1,000 or 2,000. They discharged at one time. Say one thing, and you walk up there, get you.
Gone.
That's it, boy. You on your own.
Huh.
I come out to the road, caught a bus in Augusta, and got on a damn train from there to Albany. And I decided to spend the night, rest a while, and drink a few beers, and rest. I right by myself. I said, I'm going to enjoy myself. And I got me a hotel room, and I went downtown, bought me a damn suit of clothes.
Yeah.
I paid cash for it. And so the next morning I got up, and I had to wait all day to get on the bus at 4 o'clock in the evening. So when it come through Cobb and Dawnville, it was like right after dark. And I was scared I shot my other than them, and I got off. Before I got there and borrowed a phone and called, I told them I was coming in.
You didn't want to shock them, huh?
Big day.
Yeah. That was nice, wasn't it? So you come on into Dawsonville, and everybody's waiting on you?
Yeah, they were calling all over town.
Ain't there so nobody else come in
I
with
didn't
you?
rest, sleep, or nothing else all night.
Huh. None of the other boys was coming in with you? It was just you, huh?
Yes, man.
Hold on.
I come home on a leave from Everett. And when I was up there, and I rode 5 days coming down, and I stayed home 5 and 5 back. Went through Chicago and back up. And I got into Bainbridge when I was going home, and it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And there was a big air base there. And the town was light up just like in the middle of the day. Soldiers, 100,000 of them, I reckon. They're training camps there. There's an air base right outside of Bainbridge where they train. And this little guy come along on a dump truck, and I was thumbing my way to Dawn. There were no buses running until the next day, and I was thumbing. And he stopped and picked me up. He was drunk. And he was walking all over the damn road. I said, shit, I ain't gonna get home yet. 5 days, you know. And I sat
Been all over the damn world, you're gonna get wrecked.
And I got around telling him, I said, where do you work? He said, I haul dirt. I'm an independent over there. I come to Bainbridge to work around this base, and I'm going home. I said, well, you late, 2 o'clock in the morning? He said, yeah, I stopped and got a few drinks and stayed. And got over there about 6 to 8 miles, Brenton, somewhere there. And I took him out of the truck driver. He said, can you drive this truck? I said, damn right I can drive it. And he says, I said, well, if you'll let me drive, I'll let you sleep. He fell over there, and I done caught the wheel to his retire. It did. And I scared the devil out of him. And so he stopped, and the sucker got over there. I said, shit. I pushed that thing double over here, I went. When I got to Dawnville, I woke him up, and I said, I'm him. Said, okay, said, I'm on my way to Dothan. He drove out of it.
Pulled out of there.
Poor man, I don't know where he got down on.
That's a damn mess, wasn't it? What?
Me and another guy, they called us up there, some part of France, one night to report to another outfit to help move empty trucks. So we both were pulling a same size truck and a two-wheel trailer in the back. And so I got up and loaded up, and we were headed about 100 miles. And they sent me up there, and I loaded up stuff and all, and here we go. And there was an officer car ahead, and that son gun took out. He didn't give a shit where we was back there. We got there, what, he was driving the hell out of it. And we loaded with his trucks. And this guy, he was an old, slim, old-timey truck driver. And he would have had a man, shit, he put it on the bottom. We got them damn hills right over there, paved roads, and he was driving like mad. I said, shit, I got to drive like hell. And I was just under a strain trying to keep up with him. And about 100 miles later, I looked over there and I said, that son of a gun, I think, turned to the left. I saw a tail out about a quarter mile back. And I turned to the left, and I be damn, we run up into an army camp there. And belonged to us, and parked. And I would give out. I talked to him a little bit, and they fed us. And we went and laid down on a tent right on the ground and slept. And we woke up the next morning pretty early. And I said to myself, I said, now, you son of a gun, you damn sure ain't gonna outdrive my ass going back. I'm gonna wait now. I said, I'm gonna test your ass out. So he told me to go ahead. And I took out. I said, I'm going to give you a damn race this time. And I let her roll. We come through Nuremberg. It's a big city. And right close to the water there's a water canal or something. There's a brick wall. And that road just turned just like that and went way around. It was brick all the way. It was curvy all the way down. And when I hit there, I just turned it on, man. I was slinging that damn little trailer from one side to the other back. And I got on up the road when it straightened out about 5 or 6 miles, and I missed him. And I stopped. And I waited about 10, 15 minutes. There's so much tractors and tanks going, you couldn't keep up with nothing. There's a lot of people. And I stopped side the road. And I waited. And I remember back there I was coming around a curve and there was a truck going this way, and damn, he didn't like to hit me. And I think he hit that boy back there.
Oh, Lord, you think so?
I didn't see him, it's curvy, you know. I believe he hit him. I couldn't go back because I'd have to turn around, be in a mess. And I hated it, but I just hauled out.
Never did see him?
I got on in and I told him what happened, and I said, I missed it. I don't know what happened, but I believe that truck that light hit me, hit him. He was behind me back there. But see, he was going around a wall like that and right like that, and I was watching up front. And I missed him on down when the road straightened.
What was you doing? Hauling equipment and men?
Yeah, just everything. See, sometimes they'd call you at another outfit to go over there and they send a truck. And then what my outfit was a radar. We had, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 6x6 trucks with a steel body high. And they'd carry them out and go up at on these high hills and put an antenna up and check in with the planes going and coming. If the enemy was coming, or, you know, and they'd be hid up in the mountains and the trees.
You ought to set up them
and we go about
radars.
10 miles to the front line. They always stay back about 10. And then you'd have to haul the kitchen up there, the groceries, They had a guard or two. They had it's kind of like a unit, a little unit outside unit. They had a radio man or two, and one of them could drive that big truck. And then we had some little things about that high, and it just fit up the back of the body, and you had to winch them on there. And when you got up to where you were going, you could winch it out onto them bushes, and one man would lay in there and leave him food, and he'd radar out. He's laying down on the ground in the bushes at that. We had about 6 or 8 of them. We had to move. It kept us busy all the time. Of course, we had about 6 or 8 big trucks.
How did you get on the truck detail? When you was over in the United States, did you get on the truck you detailed over here?
Yeah, they asked me what I'd done. I told them I was a truck driver, I hauled gasoline. And they said, well, have you got chauffeur's license? I said, yeah. Showed it to them, and they said, could you back a semi? And I said, yeah. And they took me over there and tried me out and gave me an Army license.
I don't know.
And they used me to train other people in a barn. To drive back through that barn, drive through it, stuff like that for a while. And that's how I started. And then I just joined my outfit, and I worked for them. I was under that one outfit. The name of it was 328. There's 328 men in there.
328. What was the rest of it? What was it? 328 truck?
Fighter control, what they called it.
Fighter?
F-I-G-H-T, yeah. It was a radar outfit.
328 fighter control?
For the Air Force, it was radar.
For the Air Force. What happened to old Billy King? Did he hang with you the whole time?
Billy, he stayed up there, and after I come home, they give him a furlough home. And I left him up there. He used to run help at the theater, show films. He's good at it. He would get it back up there, and show the films at night till 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's what he did in the Army?
Yeah, that's what he did. And he worked with them, and I think he finally went to England. And then come back home maybe after I did. I got back before he did, and we met again right there in Donaldsonville.
Did you ever go over to England?
No. Up in Germany, there was 12 men that hadn't had a leave because they'd been on the road, traveling a lot, and I was one of them. And I think there's 12. And they called me in and said, we got to pass to England for 2 weeks, and you need a vacation. They said, we're going to fly you over there. And that told me about. I went back and I said, if this was home, I'd take it. But I ain't got to go to England.
Yeah.
I said, I ain't got to go to England. So I went back up and I told them I wanted to pass it up. I didn't want to go. And they said, well, you're missing a good trip. I said, all right. So later on, they come back to me, and they said, we got a trip to Paris on one of our vehicles, and you're a driver, and you can take 8 men in on their vacation and take yours 2 weeks. I stayed in Paris 2 weeks.
Did you? Huh.
I saw everything they had there.
Was it still going? It wasn't bombed out or anything?
No, they bypassed. When they went through there, when we went through there, they bypassed it.
Yeah.
Germans getting out so fast they didn't have time to do a damn thing.
Did you meet
They
any?
brought them out of there.
Did you meet any French girls up there?
Yeah. Boy, there's a man down on Piccadilly. They rode down. Oh, Lord, I must have just standing in the road. So you walk in a bar and they just stand calling you like.
Come in, Lamar.
Oh, yeah, boy.
That was a mess, wasn't it?
We had a hotel, kind of a place like a hotel, old hotel, and they took it over for U.S. to go there and rest stuff. And it was down the street, and I had to park my truck up about 3 or 4 miles and catch a subway underground. And And I come out right up there. I told them what street it was on and everything. And I got out and went in there. And there was a man with me that was, he rode in the front with a truck. He was, his brother was over there. And they talked French. And me and him went out together, a couple times. Parted and with some of his folks.
Huh.
And I couldn't understand what they were saying. They talked.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, they have big dances over there. And boys go in, boy, they just dancing all over the place. All you got to do is just have you one and go.
That's pretty good, ain't it?
When I got into Paris, I took that trip. And I had a direct order to drive that truck from the U.S. And I also had a pass for 2 weeks.
Huh.
And every one of them had a pass, and they rode with me. I think it was about 8 men on the truck. And we took out of Germany, and I rode across. I don't know how we went. I went a different way there, and I'd have to look at the map. But we come into Paris, and I looked up in there and I said, look at him. That damn tower, boy, was up there.
The Eiffel Tower.
I stayed right around there for a long time, and I saw it every way from up on the hill and off for the distance. You know, right edge of there, that thing is a river of water. The ocean runs up in it.
I think it's called the Seine.
Yeah, water running. And
I'm not sure.
it covers a 4 or maybe a 6-lane highway. That thing is so big. I guess the bottom of it is big as this room or more on one leg. It's bigger than that. It's a big leg. It goes up, and then there's another one over on the other side of the house. And they had a German plane. They captured sometime, and it was parked over there and roped off. You couldn't drive through it. It was either a 4 or 6 lane. I can't remember. It's right in the city there. And you walk up a hill and get like this. You're up high. When you get up here, you stand up here looking down at the tower up. And that tower, the first floor is even there.
Is that right?
It's the first floor, yeah. you look at the first floor and look down like that. There's a pyramid there. I see a lot on that. That's kind of something. I don't know what the heck they put it there for. It's some kind of a memorial or something.
Some kind of memorial.
Yeah.
Huh.
You're supposed to be coming in. Is she in?
No, sir, not yet.
Oh,
She's bringing some chicken in. Have you looked at that dresser in there?
Nah, I need to get a look at it.
It's ready to go. We